Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Peter Stone, and I am going to talk about stepping up and stepping out. It's a program I have, the sea breeze. I'm catching the sea breeze, if you're wondering what's going on with my hair. So it'll be there. Um, One thing I have learned in many years of challenges is that, and it's probably the most difficult thing to do in our trying times. And what does that mean? That means when we are given a gift, and in that gift, it is a major challenge in our life. I mean, we could have, someone got really hurt, or some could be devastating, but they could be small things. And mostly in our lives every day, it's the little things that push our buttons. So we're coming to the end of 2021, and the program Stepping Up and Stepping Out is a program I do, and I show up here on the new moon and the full moon. And these are the switches that remind us when we stay connected. And this is the whole point of it, of stepping up and stepping out, is to stay connected with your New Year's resolution goals and desires. So it's a really an interesting time, right? We're in December. It's like December 19th, right? The full moon. And there is 12 days to the end of the year. Do you have your goal list from your New Year goal, or any goals throughout the year that you have written? But the program, and I want to inspire people to do your New Year's resolutions right now for 2022. And one of them I highly suggest, no matter what you're doing, and for me as well, is don't let the noise pull us down. Don't let the noise ruin our lives, because for some people it has. And I'm rather speechless. And there's a wake up calls going on all around the world where you're told you can't work, you can't do this, if you don't do what the government says, you can't do this, you can't do that. This is unacceptable totally. From where I come from, the United States of America. I'm here in Thailand. I'm actually in a place called Bang Saray at the moment. We are usually going live from Samut Prakan, but I'm in Bang Saray, and by the sea, which charges me. So let's get into the subject that is. If it's not your favorite subject, please consider it. Like, sometimes people say, well, money, I don't care about money, I don't need money, but a lot of people want money. When they get it, it doesn't do what they think it's going to do. But in the case of working hard to find gratitude in the smallest of things, like people would complain about a job, but they didn't have a job, right? So they say, I got a job. And rather than say, oh, well, I got to go to that job again. No, you've got it. You've got an income. So no matter what it is, uh, it's the focus on what you have, not on what you don't have. It's so key, so key. And so important for us. So if we are not focusing on that, we are losing what it is we are here for, to live life fully, not under suppression, not anxious and full of anxiety or depressed. We we've got to focus on the singing bird, the butterfly, the crashing wave, or maybe I'll tell you one little story. So I was in recovery a long time ago, and I went to this place called the Hill. It was a very I went to a lot of places before that didn't work, and I got so serious. I said, let me find the best place around and let me pay as much money as I can. Not that I wanted to pay as much money, but I figured if I'm going to invest in myself, this was way back in the day. It costs a lot of money. But I was serious and I made that decision and I showed up and I got put into a room that had two bunk beds, four people in a small room in this elegant. So I guess I must have been in the economy room because I didn't pay triple what I paid, and I'm sure there were some people because it's the same place that Joan Kennedy went, and so I figured it's good enough for her. So I got to do it. I went there, and I turned. This guy came in very overweight after I was there just for maybe my second day. He was down in the lower bunk and he was big. He was really fat. He was overweight and he snored. And it was very irritating, obviously. I'm out of my mind trying to recover, nuts. And I don't know if anybody here has been in recovery, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But some people, they you don't have to go through recovery, but you have anxiety or stress and life like overwhelms us. And so this guy is making this noise. I'm like, what am I going to do all night? I can't get this guy to stop. And so I chose to turn the rhythm of his snoring into a symphony. I used my creativity, my imagination, and I turned a totally disgusting thing into something of beauty. I found the upside. I became grateful in a sense. I wasn't really grateful, but I had turned the situation. I had found something, a seed of opportunity, a seed of brightness, a seed of music, a sheet of music, if you will, that turned the whole thing around. And I went to sleep. And ever since, I never forget it, obviously, because it was a huge thing for me in the moment. And we all have our own huge things. So when I guess I would say I was doing this seminar to for three things, for two things, really. Gratitude is the most powerful tool. It's the key to the vault of solutions to every single challenge, comfortable or uncomfortable in our life. It's there. It's the most difficult thing to find in that vault, the to be able to get through all the piles of the core value that where's the upside. It may not show up in the moment, and you have to work at it. Just like this guy that came in, I had to work at it for 30 minutes, an hour or more to figure out the solution. And it's about creativity, how in asking the right questions, not saying, well, this is really bad, oh, and whining. No, it's like, how do I solve this? How do I solve this? I've done this since I was a kid. It doesn't matter if I had no capacity of my mind at all, but creativity surfaced at the toughest of times in the middle of a recovery. And I'm telling you, I partied so hard. I should have been dead, but I wasn't. And I'm grateful. And I may have a message for somebody that I could help too. And that's why I'm here, because I went through such pain and I know what some people are in, but it's difficult to get inside and peel back what is deep inside and what people are really feeling. And that's why I'm here. Because I love to see a smile on a face. And I will tell you, I didn't have a smiling face for several years. Really tough. And it's happened for it. I just share what's happened, and gratitude, the attitude of gratitude I learned. So the three things, what are they? Well, it's gratitude, but if you're in the midst of a tornado, they had tornadoes in America, really bad. Some people, there's all levels of pain and challenge, and all levels, from a simple scratch to somebody just lost a window in a store, to somebody lost a whole building, somebody lost a life and a family member, right? But somewhere, these are the moments I'm talking about that are the most difficult for any of us to find something to be grateful about. That there weren't more people, that it wasn't maybe my whole family, or but there's always an upside, and in order, we have to grieve if necessary, or when necessary, but we've got to not hold on to that too long, and we've got to go to the gift of the hidden gift of gratitude, and use that as a tool, not only for ourselves, but for those around us, to help them and comfort them and show them that, wow, I mean, we see stories, there's a lot of stories that people have gone through all kinds of stuff, and they come out the other side all the strong. Matter of fact, the stronger the people, the more they've gone through illness, health challenges, everything. And the more the challenge, the bigger the challenge, the farther, it's like a slingshot. You pulled yourself way back into the dregs of pain, the a really bad dark place, but then you come out the other side accelerated, because you're saying, I'm going to change something, whatever it is that you have to change or that we have to change. I'm going to look at this differently. I'm going to look at this and look at the upside, and find out why these are gifts, and why did this anything happen, and when they're just not necessarily comfortable, but why what is the next thing? Where do we level up because of this thing that happened? For anyone, small, medium, large, whatever the challenge is. But the key to breaking through the big challenge and all the weight that's on top of us. I mean, like, we can't see, our emotions are so raw and so raw and rough, and we're emotional. How do you expect me to find gratitude, Peter?
It's 9 hours.
How can I find gratitude in this situation? Is something good about this? How can you say that? Well, there is. And this is the tipping point. This one thing that I have learned and has changed. I mean, just, I live this every day. I live this, that I expect only the best to happen. So, whatever that is, I'm not, I don't know what's best for me. The universe does, God does. Greater powers know what's best for me. So, when I'm not allowed to accomplish something, a project doesn't work, a plan doesn't work, something I really wanted to do didn't work, what, what does that mean? And I learned probably 20 years ago in my discovery that there's something better for me or for you. It's the law. It's a law. When you don't get what you want, if you quit, you're done. But if you don't quit, there is something better always. Well, that didn't work out. Okay. So turning the demands or the plans into preferences, I prefer that this is really what I want to happen, but in the end, it's a preference. So if it doesn't happen, you're not devastated. It's okay. And this is a knowing, not I believe, but first you have to believe before you can know. And then you start living in a knowing that, oh, well, that didn't happen the way I thought it was going to do. Well, that's interesting. So I wonder what really great thing's going to happen. And that like changes your attitude. So gratitude feeds into attitude, of course. But to break into that vault and get to the core of what to be grateful about in the moment of high emotions is I know that, well, or I believe because I saw so many people that had these challenges. If I just stick with it, I'm gonna get through it and something good will come about this. I can help somebody else. My life will improve. I'll learn something. I don't know what it is, physical, mental, spiritual, financial. It does, none of those things really matter, but they do matter, but they don't matter. The thing is, the gift is what matters, and the gift is the best thing for us. And we have to allow that gift because it's the best thing for us to step up and for the best thing for community and people around us and the world as a whole. And if we keep walking around whining, saying, oh, well, you just don't know what happened to me, you won't believe it, poor me. Well, oh boy, I have traveled to over 100 countries. And I don't know how many I've lived in. It doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't. And the things I've seen, and you can see some of the things on YouTube, but it's totally different if you or on Rumble, and it's different when you're in the midst, front line with some of this stuff. Some of this stuff you don't want to be front line, but the bottom line is it's totally different than just seeing a picture. You're just seeing like a movie, reading like a book. It's imaginary. But when you're there, you smell things, you see things, you hear things that like it's real. And I guess Zuckerberg's trying to make that in his metaverse, but let's keep it real, real, not make believe. That's my opinion. At any rate, one, know, understand, look around, see the people, read some books that people have. Abe Lincoln, right? I mean, there's just story after story after story after challenge. Martin Luther King. I mean, all kinds of people totally broke, totally physically broke, but mentally strong, beat up, crowds of people bad mouthing them, people saying bad things, but they never quit and they did great things. People turned on them. Stick to your heart of hearts and don't let anyone change your life other than change it for the good. Listen, always listen, right? Does it make sense? Is it good for you? Is it good for my family? And does it bring, where's gratitude in it? Everybody's got something. I mean, listening to people and hearing what they have to say is really important. And it's something I work on all the time, is to stop and hear what the other person is saying and learn their experiences. And that's where I learned about gratitude and attitude. I was hungry because I didn't like pain. I decided I did not like mental pain, physical pain. And it's one reason I exercise and stay fit, because I don't like the pain of the other thing. I can feel my muscles shrink if I don't do something for 10 days. It's bad. I mean, it's like if you didn't brush your teeth for 10 days. That's the way I see it. Is fitness, exercise, diet should be like washing your face and brushing your teeth, a simple habit. And gratitude should be that simple habit. When you wake up, you say, wait, I mean, it's extreme. I'm still here. I'm alive. Well, that's a little bit shallow, but that's good, right? That's good. Somebody didn't wake up. So you can start there if you really want to start at something simple, and then don't rush, don't think negative or less than useful thoughts. Find something, find 5 things to be grateful. You have water. Do you have water to drink in the morning? Do you have a little food? Do you have a lot of food? Do you have a selection of food? What do you have? Do you have convenience? You don't have food. Is there someplace really close by where you can get it? Are the birds singing? Are there butterflies around? What? And anything, right? Anything, everything and everything. Clothes, I mean, you can really bring it down to the basics. But that's what we must do if we cannot get out of some mental states and physical states and emotional states. We've got to use whatever tools, don't let attitude get in the way. Don't let attitude get in the way, unless it's the attitude of gratitude. That's not really in the way, is it? That is an uplifting tool. So, intention, when you wake up with an intention to live into gratitude as much as you can in the day until it becomes a habit. I find myself looking up and like saying thank you just for the fresh air, the fresh sea air that charges me, fresh food, sunshine, rain, whatever it is, the cleansing of a storm. And things need to be shaken up once in a while. Even us, we get shook up, makes us look at things differently. And when things like what's going on right now in the world is probably a good thing. People have been cruising along and being controlled for like really well sculpted for the last, who knows, 5 decades. Now, boom, is today. And people want you to do what they want you to do. So the challenges are big if you're not used to that. Okay, if you're not used to obeying authority and you live a life of freedom, I've always lived a life of freedom, then, and there's ways to heal. There's all kinds of ways. I mean, I rarely go to the doctors at the hospital. I go online to find the solution. And every time I have solved things, except for extreme medical conditions, and that's why we have doctors and hospitals and clinics for extreme stuff, not for headaches, not for coughs, not for colds. I mean, that's absurd. People have had coughs, colds, and headaches for centuries. And we got to go to the hospital for that crap? I mean, seriously. I mean, honestly, pop a pill because I got a headache. Well, you got a headache. Maybe you need to sit back and say, well, why do I have a headache? What am I doing that's causing me stress? Why do I have a neck ache? Why do I have a backache? Generally, what I have learned is that it's from the brain. The brain, like, oh man, this thing's a pain in the neck. Well, if you start having a pain in the neck and you talk about having something that's a pain in the neck, then you shall manifest. So this is the thing that you can flip it and you can manifest good health through gratitude, through mind management, through the words and the thoughts. Thoughts either lift us up or put us down or keep us neutral. And we don't want to be neutral. We want to be up and feeling our best. I know I do. I am have moments like everyone, but you got to get back in the game of joy, pleasure, and happiness in life. No matter what's going around, you can still be happy with life, and that comes from gratitude at the core. Happy that you have faith. That's part of the gratitude of this cycle, right? So live into gratitude, work for gratitude, focus on gratitude. It will, if it hasn't already, changed your life. It will, and it's worth finding just books before online stuff. Books. Where can I go? Go to the library, go any place, go ask people, how can I find gratitude? How can I have a better life? How can I quell the pain of mental pain, of physical pain? How can I fix this? Otherwise, if you don't do that kind of stuff, if you have to go to that level, like I did, to get out of that, I'm so grateful I did that. I worked so hard, and I still do. And it's not easy. Gratitude. So do your very best and join me on the journey into 2022. Commit to some things that you want to do in your life, whether they're financial. I have a lot of financial solutions. I'm not going to talk about them now, but there's a lot of financial solutions at my company, peterstone.com. But and in those solutions, there's a lot of gratitude in what I've done in my company. It goes deep, it goes wide, and it shows in our the creativity of the people and our jewelry products. But because there are words that say gratitude for you to focus on that. Words matter. So back to your planning into 2022. What is it that you need? What is it that you're no longer going to do, that you're tired of? You want to level up and forget what's going on around you because you take control. When we all take control and we say no to what everybody is telling us to do, first they scare you, then they choke you. Don't let them do it. Live your life. Step up. Come and join me. And if it's not me, get somebody who will help you, okay? Will help you get from desiring to believing to knowing to living the life that you want to live. So this is Peter Stone, and I appreciate you coming here. The new moon, it's a powerful time. Manifest the next 7 days after the full moon. And actually, it's a great time to start your goals for 2022. That 1 week at when the full moon starts for 1 week is a very powerful time energetically to put all the goals and things that you want to live into in 2022. Then the following week, from the third quarter to the new moon, is the time when you get rid of all the things that you don't want to do anymore. You make that list. I'm not doing this anymore. And you say what it needs to change. So the first 7 days after the full moon is you list all the things you're going to do. You're going to move into step up, step out, make 2022 your best year yet. Then 1 week after that 1 week, then you say, these are the things I will not do anymore. These are the things I've got to clean up, burn, and just get rid of. Dump in the ocean, put it out into the air, put it in the forest, let it go. Download the negativity. Exhale the negativity, inhale the positivity. When you breathe, just think of two things. When I inhale, I'm inhaling positive energy. And when I exhale, I'm blowing out all that negativity. It's leaving me. That's it. Just try that one thing. And I will see you on the new moon, but I will be here. You can connect with us. Click on the link. I'm doing this every new moon and full moon going into 2022 to make 2022 your best year yet, regardless of what's going on around you. We can flip this thing into a whole shining bright light. This is Peter Stone saying thanks for checking in.